There was a moment when I realized that no matter what happened, it would always be my fault. It wasn't his cheating or his lies, not even him leaving. Everything was my issue to fix. He told me that if I was upset, it was because I wasn't praying hard enough. And instead of being hurt by his betrayal, I should be comforting him. And somehow, I believed him. He said I was closed off, not affectionate enough, not loving enough. And no matter how hard I tried, it was never enough. I posted in my journal one night. How do I let my frustrations out? How do I stop holding everything in? I felt like I was drowning in emotions I wasn't allowed to express. Every time I tried to let something go, something new would happen. Another disappointment, another argument, another reason why I had failed him. And I was exhausted. Everything would be fine, until suddenly it wasn't. And I could never figure out what changed. It was like walking through a minefield blindfolded. If I brought up something that hurt me, it never got resolved. Instead, it became evidence of something wrong with me. My attitude, my tone, my lack of submission. He told me I needed to pray more. That if I truly followed God, I would know how to be a better wife. Not once did he say he needed to change. Only me. When I look back at my journals now, I can see the cycle clearly. 1 month I wrote, "We renewed our love. It's awesome. Thank you, God." A month later, how soon things change. Lord, help me. 2 weeks after that, I have the most wonderful feeling about our marriage. And then 2 weeks later, sometimes I feel like he wants to give up. It was like emotional whiplash. Hope, fear, relief, panic. Over and over again. I didn't realize it then, but I was living inside a cycle. I began to trust him more than I trusted myself. He said he was honest. He said he was loyal. He said he would always tell me the truth, even when he admitted to things he didn't have to admit. I thought that meant he was trustworthy. I didn't realize it was conditioning. Every confession made me trust him more, not less. The first time he was unfaithful, he told me he was angry, he was hurt. He said he didn't want to come home. He ended up in bed with someone else. And I remember thinking, why would he tell me that if he wasn't honest? If he wasn't sorry? I didn't understand that the confession wasn't accountability. It was permission testing. Every time I was hurt, he became the victim. He told me my reactions made him upset. My sadness was to manipulate him. So instead of comforting myself, I comforted him. I apologized for his betrayal. I didn't know the word for it then. Darvo. Deny. Attack. Reverse victim and offender. But I lived it. By then, we had children. And I thought that would have changed everything. I thought he would stay and choose me and our children. Our family. Instead, it was harder for me to leave. Since we both decided we didn't want our children in daycare, I left my job to stay home with the kids while he worked on his career. I took care of our children. I took care of the house. And I took care of him. And slowly, I stopped caring for myself. One night after an argument, I told him I couldn't do this anymore. I didn't mean forever. I meant I needed peace. But he took those words and used them as justification. He left. And when he came back, he told me he had found comfort in another woman again. This time it was because I hurt him, because I made him feel unloved. And somehow, I believed that too. I did everything. Worked, cooked, cleaned, supported his career, supported him even after his infidelity, gave him all the loving a man could ask for. I can count on one hand the number of times I said no since we've been married. And still, it wasn't enough. So one day, I decided to test something. I gave him what it seemed like he was asking for. My time and my attention. Around the clock. Outside of fixing meals and sneaking a nap in with the kids. He was completely consumed by me. Not a moment to myself except to use the bathroom. I went to the theater room if he was there. I went to his office if he was there. 4 days. Massaged his shoulders. Sat beside him while he worked, putting him before my exhaustion. And I was completely drained. But he was finally happy. That was impossible to keep up. Eventually, I returned to what felt like a normal pace to me, still doing those same things, just not all-consuming. And he insisted that he needed more. I wasn't enough. Eventually, he cheated again. This time, I told him to leave. I told him if he wanted her, then go. And he said something I will never forget.
How would that look? Me leaving you while you're pregnant? Who would take you with 3 kids?
In that moment, I realized something terrifying. He wasn't afraid of losing me. He was confident I couldn't leave. He had built a life where I depended on him for everything. Financially, emotionally, practically. And he knew it. He knew I had nowhere to go. He knew I couldn't survive without him. Or at least, that's what he wanted me to believe. But nothing could have prepared me for what happened next. Because after all of that, after all the lies, after all the cheating, there was one betrayal that should have changed everything. He cheated again. Somehow, this woman ended up pregnant. He said he was not the father. And I did not believe him. To hear more, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments when you realized the narcissist in your life couldn't be trusted and you started your journey to empath empowered.